So, yesterday we talked a little bit about how to prepare for an IEP meeting or a 504 meeting. And today I just wanted to touch a little bit more about the importance of attitude going into those meetings, perceptions, as kind of part of your preparation. So, one thing that we tend to do as humans is we tend to think about things in an us versus them sort of mentality. And if you've ever been to an IEP or a 504 meeting before within the school system, you might understand that the sort of nature of those makes us feel that way at times. Because our priority is our child, and the school's priority is the child. So this is not to say that they don't care or that they're trying to be unhelpful or anything negative about the school, but they have multiple priorities. So while they care about the child most of the time, they also are thinking about other things. They're thinking about the resources available to them. They are thinking about how to manage those resources so that all the children who have these IEP and 504 plans can have access. They're thinking about, so on an IEP or a 504 team, you're going to have teachers, sometimes a psychologist, but more often than not, a guidance counselor and administrators of some kind. So it's a team of people at the school. And on that team of people are folks who have competing priorities. So they may have had 10 IEP or 504 meetings that week already by the time they get to you. And sometimes it can feel like you're pushing for your child and that they don't care. More often than not, that's not the case. It's just that they have a lot of other things going on. So for the teachers who have to join these meetings, they had to get coverage for their class, or they have other students waiting for them, or they need to go relieve another teacher. So it's not to say that any of that negates the obligation and the responsibility to take care of your child and making sure that their needs are met. It's just to kind of understand their perspective. It's a lot of professionals with a lot of things going on, but you're coming in and your sole priority is your child, as it should be. So I talked about in the last video coming in prepared with a list of goals, with a list of accommodations you're looking for. So you're going to come into that meeting with full preparation of what you are looking to get out of that meeting. So you're coming in with an idea of, this is what my child is struggling with, this is what will help them, and this is the role that we can all play to support that. So you're coming in armed with that information, and that will just help the meeting go more smoothly. But if you go into the meeting thinking, they're out to get my child, they don't care, I have to fight for everything, then it can already be tense before it begins. Now, with that being said, for those of you who have followed our journey, you know that we have gone through that before. We have certainly had positive experiences and negative experiences in these meetings. So for some background, I got questions after the last video, do you still homeschool? Yes, so we homeschool our daughter. We have another child, but prior to homeschooling our daughter, we had countless IEP meetings. So we've been there in the trenches as parents. And then way back when, I actually worked in the public school system, so I've seen it from that perspective. I've served as an advocate helping other parents. So I totally understand what these meetings are like, and it's just important to be prepared, but to keep a positive attitude throughout as best you can. Now, there are times where you just need to be assertive because you know what your child needs. And I've said in prior videos years ago, no one will care about your child more than you do. As parents, the staff at the school and the teachers, they can be the best teachers in the world, they can be the greatest staff. They have a lot of students. So again, I'm not coming to these thinking that they don't care or that it's an adversarial situation. However, I know that I am my child's voice in those meetings. So if I know that my child needs more speech, or I know that my child needs occupational therapy or extended test time or whatever it is that I've come to the meeting prepared with, I know also what I am and am not willing to back down on. And I think one of the biggest problems, I've talked to parents about this a lot, and I also have experienced this, you worry about being too pushy. You worry about, well, they're really not going to like me after this. It's going to be hard to deal with the school, or I'm going to be that parent, I'm going to be a difficult one. That's okay. It's okay to be that parent who advocates for your child, that parent who isn't concerned about the opinions of others. As long as you are professional and respectful to all the people in the meeting, which I'm sure that you will be, it's okay to push for what you know your child needs. We just need to go into it thinking that we are a team. And if they prove you wrong on that and try to push back or refuse services, or you go through some of the things that we went through years ago with our daughter, then you can make your decisions from there. But approaching it as a group effort, that everyone's on the same page, and then just advocating when you need to is the best way to handle these. Now, if you feel that your child is not getting what they need and you need to maybe take a pause, know that you don't have to agree to things or feel pressured in these meetings that you don't think are right for your child. So you don't have to sign an IEP, individualized education plan, or a 504, or feel pushed into a corner about things. If you're not getting what you're looking for out of the meeting, you can always request another meeting. So that's your right. Another right that you have is that you can bring someone with you. So if you want to bring your spouse, your partner, a family member, a friend, there are professional advocates as well that you can bring with you. You don't have to do it alone. Sometimes, especially in the beginning of these journeys, you might feel so emotional about it. I know that I did when we were starting on this path many, many years ago. You might just need somebody to help you. You come in prepared, you have your list, you have your goals, but if they're just saying, we can't do that, or we don't have the resources for that, or whatever, you might need some support. So don't be afraid to schedule a follow-up meeting. Don't be afraid to bring someone with you, and just know your rights on this. I hope this was helpful.